This is Milah Libin, Editor-in-Chief of Dizzy Magazine, and I will be reading our feature and interview with Mariko Mori in our 6th issue. Mariko Mori's future is filled with natural iridescence. Man-made silver objects are illuminated by the dusty palette of the sunrise. Mori's work reflects Japan's unique marriage between advanced technology and well-preserved structures and natural environments. Referencing traditional Japanese culture, ancient history, and archaeology, Mori contextualizes these themes within a futuristic landscape. Futurism is emphasized in Mori's studio practice as well, as she builds and digitally constructs artworks using complex materials and programming. Her works have longevity, existing far beyond their inceptions, as if they are becoming relics of the past themselves. In Mori's early work, she inserted herself digitally and physically into the urban, quote-unquote, human world. Over time, she began placing herself, sculptures, and 3D renderings in natural, undisturbed environments, sometimes real, sometimes fantasy. The disparate reactions to Mori's presence further her commentary on humanity's effect on the natural world. Mori also creates physical installations that do not embody the human or natural world, but rather an innovative one. In her immersive project Wave UFO, 1999 to 2002, Mori invites visitors to enter a lustrous biomorphic structure. Placed inside are brainwave electrode headsets which, when worn, project images of the viewer's brainwaves. Subsequently, Mori's animation Connected World lights up the ceiling. The captivating technological performance transcends our known universe, welcoming us to imagine new ones. In the following interview, I will be referring to myself as ML and Mariko Mori as MM. Milah Libin. How did people react to or interact with you during your self-portrait projects in Japan in the 1990s? Mariko Mori. I mostly exhibited my works outside of Japan in the 1990s. ML. Do you think the public would react differently now with our own relationships to technology? MM. Yes. I feel that the public now is generally more interested in art than 30 years ago, so people might enjoy it more. ML. Did you construct your quote-unquote costumes, if that's how you would define them, or source them from found garments? MM. I've designed all the costumes myself, and I had a production team who produced them. ML. Do you keep these performance costumes after using them? For example, the costumes used in Play With Me 1994 and Subway 1994. MM. Yes. ML. When you began to transition from using yourself as a subject to working with sculptures as your subjects, did you document the work with the same intention? MM. My subjects transitioned after the work of Dream Temple in 1999. The reason for removing my body from the works is that I was trying to envision a deeper consciousness at that time by using computer graphic animation and real-time programs for Dream Temple and the Wave UFO installation. ML. Your 90s work often includes human subjects within an urban environment, whereas now your work presents sculptures that, although sometimes made from artificial materials, still feel like natural forms and are presented in natural environments. Some of your projects are constructed and programmed to react to themselves, as opposed to potentially provoking a human reaction. For example, the 90s projects were often done in public spaces where there was a potential for this human interaction or reaction. Is this a reflection of how humans and/or technology might be outlived by nature? MM. I began art making with a focus on social criticism in the mid-90s and shifted to address more fundamental questions such as life, death, and rebirth through the research of Buddhism, Shintoism, prehistoric culture, and now paleoanthropology. My recent works are interventions to be reconnected with nature and to honor nature. It is a tradition of human spirituality that began a couple millions of years ago, and it has been inherited to us. As an artist, I would like to keep this tradition through contemporary art. ML. When creating futuristic characters, technology, sculptures, installations, etc., do you imagine a specific future year they exist in? MM. Not really. The future will be the fruit of our imagination. ML. Have your 90s creations caught up to the present? MM. Yes, it became reality now. ML. And does your newer work feel far from now? MM. I would like to believe that what I imagine is 20 to 25 years from now. ML. With all the changes in our Earth's climate in the last 20 years, what do you imagine the future to really look like? MM. Our future is dependent on us. We are responsible for the future environment. I imagine a world where humans and nature are one again. I imagine that we'll find a balance in order to maintain the vast and precious nature in the world. I imagine that we will pass the knowledge of wisdom to the future generation, who will continue to keep the balance with nature. I pray for the eternal prosperity of all living beings on earth, including us. ML. With your interest in artifacts and archaeology, do you imagine your work as future artifacts? MM. I hope so. ML. I'm interested in the idea of, years from now, technological inventions becoming artifacts. Now we experience artifacts as more primal, handcrafted objects. MM. With the intelligence and creative ability of human beings, we will continue to develop new technology, science, and culture to create a better life. ML. Where in Tokyo did you grow up? MM. Setagaya-ku. ML. What is your first memory of connecting with nature? MM. The first time I traveled to a site of vast nature was in 1996 when I used the backdrop of a painted desert in Arizona for my photographic work. However, my true connection with nature was when I began the drawings in front of the sea in Okinawa in 2003, which I've continued for over 14 years. I felt one with the rhythm of the sea. ML. Japan is an island surrounded by water, a material and environment often used in your work. So much of the country is still lush and natural, but Tokyo is, to some, an overstimulating city. Neighborhoods like Shibuya and Shinjuku have a constant visual of bright artificial lights and screens. I wonder if the city lights have informed the emphasis on natural light in your newer works, which illuminate the sculptures in a way that brings them even more seamlessly in oneness with the environments they are in. MM. I am interested in utilizing humans' innovation in technology in my work. When I was researching ancient sacred sites, I often discovered artifacts of offering, which were all the most precious objects and reflected their humans' technological limitations. To make them in that given era is a crystal of their wisdom at that time. ML. When did you first live outside of Japan? MM. 1998 in London. ML. What has been your experience as an artist working outside of your home country? MM. I felt freedom and gained a sense of individuality as I was liberated from the social structure of Japan. It helped me to believe in myself since I had to overcome challenges to realize my vision. I will now read the captions throughout the article and describe the artwork. So the portraits of Mariko Mori throughout the article were taken by Shiori Ikeno, and Mariko Mori is standing in front of her piece Cycloid 5, 2016 to 2018, at Toranomon Hills in Tokyo, Japan. The piece is a 12-foot by 4.5 inches by 15 feet and 8.66 inches by 11 feet and 5.272 inches structure made from painted stainless steel and a paintless steel base. It is kind of a curved structure and it's very large, and Mariko Mori is standing both in front of it and within it in the portraits. The artwork throughout the piece is courtesy of the artist and Sean Keller, New York. The introduction is translated into Japanese by Mari Kojima, and the interview is translated into Japanese by Reiko Lux. The first artwork we see in the feature is Subway from 1994, and the materials are Fuji super gloss print, wood, and pewter frame. Framed, the dimensions are 27 by 40.75 by 1.875 inches, and the image is of Mariko Mori standing inside a subway in Tokyo, wearing a futuristic-looking outfit that is silver and illuminated by the subway lights. We see three men through the door of the subway car looking at Mariko Mori. She also has a headset on and is touching some buttons on her sleeve. The following piece is Oneness, 2003. The materials are technogel, acrylic, cast aluminum, and magnesium. The dimensions of the figures are 53.15 by 29.76 by 14.72 inches, and the base diameter is 131 inches. The photo is by Marcus Tretter. And this piece is 6 figures standing on a white platform. They are all somewhat of a dusty blue, and they're holding hands. Their heads are very circular with somewhat closed eyes. They look somewhat alien-esque. The back of their head is pointed, and they have elf-like ears. The next piece is Spirifer 2, 2017 to 2018. The materials are dichroic coated acrylic, Korean base. The dimensions of the sculpture are 37.25 by 23.625 by 20.3 inches. The base height is 13.625 inches, and the base diameter is 11.9 inches. Overall dimensions are 50.875 by 23.625 by 20.3 inches. It's an edition of 8 with 2 APs, and the photo is by Jason Weich, New York. This sculpture is a very iridescent looking shape that's kind of spiraling upwards to connect 3 pieces at the tip. It is almost prism-like, very smooth, and it sits upon a white cylindrical base. The sculpture is catching the light, causing some beautiful flares on the upper right and bottom left. On the next page, we have Tea Ceremony, 1994, Fuji Supergloss Duraflex print, wood, aluminum, pewter frame. Dimensions are 48 by 60 by 2 inches. The images of Mariko Mori standing on a street in Tokyo. She is dressed almost looking like a flight attendant with silver tights and black pumps. She has a silver headdress that makes it look like she doesn't have any hair, and very pointed ears. She's wearing bright red lipstick, silver gloves, and red nails on top of the gloves. She is holding a tray with teacups in her left hand, and in her right, a small teacup. All of the people around her are blurred. All of them are men in suits. As they walk by her, we see one of the men looking back at her. Behind her are very tall, gray buildings. The next piece is Wave UFO, which was mentioned in the introduction. It's from 1999 to 2002. Brainwave interface, vision dome, projector, computer system, and fiberglass. The dimensions are 207 by 446 by 194 inches. It's an edition of 2 with 1 AP, and the photo is by Richard Leroyd. This piece is very large, sitting within a gallery with concrete walls and a silver floor. There are circular white steps and a railing going up into the dome, which is almost pod-like, but ends coming into a rounded point. It is silver, but also iridescent and catches some light that causes some orange, blue, purple, and red, somewhat rainbow-like. The entrance to the dome is clear and spherical. The next page, we have Spear for One, which is also from the series, and the previous Spear for Two from 2017. The materials are dichroic coated acrylic, Corian base. The sculpture is 39.25 by 22.125 by 4.625 inches. Base height 13.75 inches. Base diameter 11.5 inches. Overall 53 by 22.125 by 11.5 inches. It's an edition of 8 with 2 APs. Photo by Jason Weich, New York. This piece is very similar to the other one, but different in color and shape. It is 2 pointed pieces coming up to touch each other at the tip, and then a smaller piece that then curves down. The colors are pink and orange. There's some greens, and it catches the light again to look very iridescent and glass-like. On the next page, we have Tam Na Hugh 2, 2006, glass, stainless steel, LED, real-time control system. The dimensions are 177 by 61.5 by 29 inches, edition of 2 with 1 AP. And this piece is sitting in a dark room. It's cylindrical with a flat base. It's illuminating light of blue and purple tones. The last piece is Play With Me from 1994, Fuji super gloss print, wood, aluminum, pewter frame, and the dimensions are 120 by 144 by 3 inches. Mariko Mori stands in front of a store in Japan with lots of signs around her listing prices of what's inside. There is a Dragon Ball poster above a Sega game console that has red and white checkers on the screen. She's standing to the left of it with a blue wig with very long ponytails and bangs. She's wearing a very futuristic outfit with long bluish silvery gloves, a bluish silver top, black belt, and bluish silvery skirt, black tights, and what look like bluish silvery shin guards and black boots. She is holding a black purse that has gold moons and stars on it. She looks up into the right corner, and men pass on her right.